All right, let's dive into Atomic Habits by James Clear. I've got these excerpts you shared, and I'm really curious about this whole idea that tiny changes in our habits can lead to big results.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating stuff.
We always hear consistency is key, but Clear breaks it down in a way that helps you understand the how and the why.
Absolutely. One of the most compelling ideas is this thing he calls the power of tiny gains.
Okay.
Instead of those massive overnight transformations everyone's always chasing,
Right.
he's all about the power of making these small incremental improvements, but, compounded over time.
So it's not like, trying to change my whole life all at once.
Right.
It's about those little everyday choices that add up, right?
Exactly. He's got this great analogy in the book.
Right.
Imagine two planes taking off from the same point, right? But they're heading in slightly different directions.
Okay.
At first, the difference is barely noticeable, but over thousands of miles, those tiny degrees of separation, well, they end up with the planes being a huge distance apart. Yeah.
So it's like, hitting the snooze button versus going for a quick walk.
Totally.
Those seemingly insignificant choices my future self will thank me for or really regret.
Yeah, I mean, you're already starting to see how these tiny gains can make a difference, right?
For sure.
And it works both ways, too. Clear talks about this thing called the power of tiny losses.
Okay.
Just as those positive habits compound, well, so do the negative ones.
Oh, man.
Think about, consistently overspending, even just by a little each month,
Oh.
or skipping workouts, or staying up late on social media, all that stuff.
Ouch. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Makes you realize that those little slip-ups, they can add up.
Absolutely.
Just like a ripple effect over time.
It is, and that's why it's so crucial to be mindful of those seemingly insignificant choices we make every day and to focus on building systems that support, the outcomes we want.
Okay, so systems, not just goals, right?
Right.
I'm a little fuzzy on the difference, though. Can you break that down?
Sure, think of it this way. Goals are all about the results you want,
Okay,
while systems are about the processes that get you there.
got it.
So instead of saying, I want to lose 10 pounds, you focus on creating a system for healthier eating and exercise.
So instead of that number on the scale,
Mhm.
I look at the habits that'll get me there.
Exactly. And that's where the power of systems comes in.
Okay.
It's about establishing those daily practices, the
Wow.
ones that automatically move you closer to your goals, even when motivation is low.
Yeah, for sure. Some days it's like pulling teeth to get myself to the gym.
Totally.
But if I have that time blocked out in my schedule, my gym bag's packed and ready.
Oh, yeah.
Makes it a lot harder to skip.
That's a great example of how a system works, right?
Yeah.
It takes away the decision making in the moment
Right.
and makes it automatic.
So much easier.
Totally.
So if I want to try this systems over goals thing, where do I even start?
Well, Clear suggests you start by looking at the areas of your life where you want to see change.
Okay.
Could be your health, your finances, your relationships, your career, whatever.
So let's say health, for example.
Okay.
What would that system look like?
Well, it might mean scheduling workouts regularly, meal prepping those healthy lunches, prioritizing sleep, and finding ways to manage stress.
So those routines and rituals, those are the things that get me to that goal of better health.
Yeah, and remember, these systems don't have to be complicated.
Right.
Start small, focus on one or two key habits,
Okay.
build up from there.
Start small, build momentum. I like that. Clear also talks about how important it is to understand how habits actually work.
Right.
He's got the 4 stages,
Right.
right? Cue, craving, response, reward. Can you walk me through those?
Of course. So the cue, that's the trigger that starts the whole thing.
All right.
Could be external, like seeing a phone notification, or internal, like feeling stressed or bored.
All right, so that kicks it all off. What's next?
Then comes the craving, which is like that desire or motivation in response to the cue.
Yeah.
It's the why behind the habit. Like, if the cue is a phone notification, the craving might be for social connection or just entertainment.
So it's not enough to just notice the cue. There's got to be something driving me to actually do it.
Right.
Got it.
Then comes the response, which is the actual habit.
Okay.
Check your phone, you scroll through social media,
Got it.
And finally, there's the reward, which is like the payoff you get from doing the habit.
Yeah.
That's what reinforces it,
Okay.
makes you likely to repeat it.
Makes sense.
In that phone checking example, the reward might be that dopamine hit
Oh, I know that feeling.
from seeing a like or a comment,
Yeah.
or just that feeling of being connected.
Yeah, our brains just love those rewards, those bursts of pleasure.
Totally.
No wonder bad habits are so hard to break.
That's why Claire talks about the importance of awareness, right?
Right.
Before you can change a habit, you have to be aware of it.
Makes sense.
He suggests creating a habit scorecard. Just list out your daily habits, rate them as good, bad, or neutral.
Okay.
Helps you see those automatic things you might not even realize you're doing.
That sounds really helpful. I like that idea. So awareness is the first step.
Mhm.
But how do we actually build new habits? Those positive ones.
Well, Clear has a bunch of strategies for making those habits stick.
Okay.
One is something he calls habit stacking.
Okay.
Basically, you link a new habit to an existing one.
Got it.
So if you want to start meditating, stack it onto your morning coffee routine.
Like I pour my coffee and then I sit and meditate for a few minutes.
Exactly. That existing habit becomes the trigger.
That's a good idea. What are some other ways to make those new habits stick?
Well, Claire also talks about implementation intentions.
Okay.
These are specific plans about when and where you'll do the habit.
So instead of just saying, I'm going to exercise more, I'd say, after work on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm going for a run in the park.
Exactly.
Makes it more concrete.
It does, and the more specific you are, the better.
So time, location, action. Got it.
Right. You take away that decision-making in the moment.
Right.
It's harder to make excuses that way.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Hmm?
Make the right thing easier to do and the wrong thing harder to do.
You got it. Clara calls it the power of making it easy and hard.
Makes sense.
It's all about, like, reducing the friction for good habits and increasing it for the bad ones.
So can you give me an example, like how this works in real life?
Sure, let's say you're trying to cut down on social media.
Okay, been there.
To increase friction, you could delete those apps from your phone, log out on your computer, maybe even use a website blocker.
Okay, so you're basically putting obstacles in the way of the bad habit.
Exactly. And on the flip side, you make good habits easier.
Okay.
Want to eat healthier? Chop up veggies, put them in clear containers, right at eye level in the fridge.
Oh, smart.
Want to read more? Keep a book on your nightstand.
So I'm setting up my environment to help me, basically.
Exactly. And Clear talks a lot about the environment. He says it has a huge impact on our habits. Context shapes behavior, you know?
Makes sense.
We're way more likely to snack on junk food if it's sitting right there on the counter.
Oh, tell me about it. Out of sight, out of mind. Right.
Right. He gives this really interesting example.
Yeah.
The Massachusetts General Hospital cafeteria increased sales of healthy food just by rearranging things.
What? Right.
Yeah, they made healthy options more visible, more convenient, and boom, sales went way up.
Wow, that's wild. So our surroundings really do influence our choices.
Yeah.
I never thought about it like that.
It's simple, but people don't always realize it.
Okay, so we've got habit stacking, making them obvious, setting up our environment. What else is there?
Well, he also stresses making those habits satisfying.
Okay.
It's actually his fourth law of behavior change. Make it satisfying.
Okay, I'm curious. How do we make habits enjoyable, especially things like, working hard or being disciplined?
One way is to focus on the immediate rewards, those little things. He talks about a hand-washing study in Pakistan where they found that just by introducing a more enjoyable soap.
Really?
Yeah, they dramatically increased hand-washing rates.
Wait, seriously? Just a nicer soap made that much of a difference?
Yep. And people kept washing their hands even after the free soap was gone.
Wow, that's interesting.
They'd come to associate it with that nice feeling.
So even small changes can make a difference.
Totally. And that highlights a challenge we face.
Okay.
Delayed rewards. Our brains want instant gratification.
Oh, I know all about that.
Right. We crave those immediate hits of pleasure, even if it means trouble down the road.
Like resisting that extra slice of cake.
Yeah.
Or hitting snooze instead of working out,
Totally. But there are ways to bridge that gap between our present and future selves.
Oh, good. Tell me.
One is temptation bundling. You link something you want to do with something you need to do.
Okay, example, please.
Let's say you love watching a certain TV show,
Okay.
but you struggle to find time to exercise.
Yep. I'm familiar with that struggle.
You can make a rule. Only watch that show while you're on the treadmill.
So I'm basically bribing myself to exercise.
Exactly. You're making the need more enjoyable.
I like it.
And you can add a bit of immediate pain to those bad habits. Do you remember those habit contracts we talked about?
Oh, yeah, like the one where I donate money to a cause I hate if I miss a workout.
Exactly. Make the consequence immediate and tangible.
That'll definitely make me think twice.
It will.
Okay, so rewards and consequences, it's all about setting up the right system for myself.
You got it. You're basically hacking your own brain,
I like it.
making good habits more appealing and bad habits less desirable.
It's like training a puppy, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah, kind of.
Positive reinforcement, a few strategically placed deterrents.
Exactly. And just like training a puppy, it takes time and
For
patience.
sure.
You won't see results overnight, but with consistency and a good plan,
Right.
you can make those changes last.
This has been really insightful. I'm starting to see how all these pieces fit together to create a framework for those atomic habits.
It's brilliant, right?
It is.
Clear gives us this whole toolkit for understanding and changing how we behave.
And it's not just quick fixes or motivational stuff, it's like the actual science behind it.
Yeah, and psychology.
Right.
He gives us a deeper understanding.
I'm definitely feeling inspired to start applying some of this stuff to my own life.
I think you'll be surprised how much of a difference it makes.
I think so too.
It's really all about those small, consistent actions.
The atomic habits.
Yeah. Over time, they can create these remarkable transformations.
All right, I'm ready to get started. Now, tell me more about, so we've talked about systems, designing our environment, and making those habits satisfying. But what about tracking our progress? Does Claire talk about that?
Oh, yeah, he's a big fan of habit tracking.
Okay.
He says it gives you that visual proof of your progress, which can be really motivating.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a way to, measure your success.
Right, right.
See how far you've come.
I think that's a good point because sometimes I get so caught up in like just doing this stuff every day that I forget to look back and be like, wow, I've actually come a long way.
Exactly. And it's not just about celebrating those wins.
Right.
It's about spotting those patterns too.
Okay.
Those areas where you can improve
Oh, interesting.
if you're struggling with a certain habit.
Yeah.
Tracking can help you figure out what's triggering it or what's getting in the way.
So it's like turning those failures into data points I can learn from.
Exactly. And speaking of strategies, Clear talks about this thing he calls the Goldilocks rule.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What does Goldilocks have to do with habits?
Well, he uses the analogy of Goldilocks and the three bears
Okay,
to illustrate how important it is to find that sweet spot,
got it.
the right level of difficulty for your habits.
Okay.
If it's too easy, you get bored.
Right.
And if it's too hard, you just give up.
You get discouraged.
Yeah.
So it's about finding that balance where I'm challenged, but not overwhelmed, basically.
Right, that's where you'll be the most motivated.
That makes sense. And when we find that sweet spot, sometimes we can get into that flow state, right?
Oh, yeah, that feeling where you're totally absorbed, time just flies by.
It's the best.
It is, and research suggests that we're most likely to experience flow when a task is just slightly beyond our current skill level, like 4% tougher.
So it's like pushing my boundaries, but not so much that I get frustrated.
Exactly. But it's definitely a delicate balance.
Yeah, for sure.
Clear says to be really mindful of your energy and motivation
Right.
and adjust things as you go.
Yeah, that makes sense. Life happens,
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be flexible.
Exactly. And speaking of challenges, one of the biggest ones when building new habits is boredom.
Oh, tell me about it.
Hmm.
It's easy to be excited about a new habit at first, but then
Oh,
it
yeah.
just becomes another thing on my to-do list.
Yeah, that's where the real work comes in.
That-
Showing up even when you don't feel like it.
Ugh. So much easier said than done, though.
I know, but that's what separates the pros from the amateurs, according to Clear.
Discipline, consistency, all that stuff.
Exactly. He interviewed an elite coach who worked with Olympians, and he asked him what makes the best athletes different. And you know what he said.
What?
At some point, it comes down to who can handle the boredom of training every day, doing
Yeah.
the same lifts over and over and over.
Wow, that's a really good point. It's not about, finding some magic solution. It's about pushing through, even when it's boring.
Exactly. And it goes back to what we talked about before, those systems. When
Right.
you have a good system, it's not
Right.
about willpower or motivation as much. It's just following the plan.
I'm starting to see the big picture here, how it all ties together.
Yeah.
Tiny gains, systems, tracking progress, dealing with boredom. It's a whole approach.
Yeah, it's practical and psychological.
Exactly.
It's about building better habits.
I like it.
Yeah.
Now, one of the most interesting parts of the book for me was when Clear talks about identity,
Oh, yeah.
how it relates to habits,
Okay, so how does our sense of self affect our habits? I'm curious.
Well, he says that our beliefs about ourselves,
Okay.
they can either help us or hold us back,
Oh, for sure. Like, if I tell myself I'm lazy, I'm not going to get much done, right?
Yeah, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Ugh, it's so frustrating when that happens.
It is, but the good news is we can change those beliefs.
Okay, I'm listening.
Clear says, instead of changing habits directly, we should focus on changing our identity.
So instead of trying to force myself to become a morning person, I should adopt the mindset of someone who loves waking up early.
Exactly.
Take it till you make it, kinda.
Yeah, kind of. It's about acting in alignment with that desired identity.
So even if I don't feel like a morning person,
Right.
if I start waking up early, doing a positive morning routine,
Yep.
that'll eventually reinforce that new identity. Exactly. You're proving to yourself that you're capable of change.
That's pretty powerful.
It
It's
is.
like aligning my actions with my goals.
Right. And remember, our identities aren't fixed. They can change.
Well, that's good to know.
It's a constant process, you know?
Yeah.
Self-discovery, transformation, all that.
This is making me realize that, like, building better habits isn't just about checking things off a list.
Right.
It's about creating a life that reflects, what I really value.
Absolutely. And a big part of that is learning to delay gratification, right?
Ugh, that's a tough one.
It is.
Making choices that benefit my future self,
Right.
even if it means sacrificing some fun right now.
Yeah. And Clear knows it's a struggle.
Oh, he does.
He says our brains are wired to prioritize the present moment.
Okay, so why is that?
It's an evolutionary thing.
Oh, interesting.
Back in the day, our ancestors had to focus on immediate threats and rewards, to survive.
So, like, I'm fighting my own biology when I try to resist that instant gratification urge?
Kinda.
Great.
Yeah. But Clear has some strategies for bridging that gap.
Okay, tell me.
One is to find ways to add some immediate pleasure to those long-term habits.
Okay.
Like, say you're saving for a house.
Okay.
Instead of focusing on that big abstract goal,
Right.
create a visual reminder.
Like a picture of my dream house on my vision board or something.
Exactly. Or set up a special savings account, call it your dream home fund.
Oh, I love that. Every time I put money in there, it's like a little celebration,
Right. You're associating that saving with a positive emotion.
like a little reward.
It is. And on the flip side, you can add some immediate pain to bad habits. Remember those habit contracts?
Oh, right. Like the one where I donate to that organization. I can't stand if I miss a workout.
Exactly.
It's brilliant, but painful.
It is. Make the consequence immediate
Yeah.
and tangible so it outweighs the short-term pleasure.
I'm starting to see how this is all about, like, creating this system of rewards and consequences.
Exactly. You're hacking your brain's reward system.
I'm a hacker.
You are.
I like it.
You're making good habits more appealing and bad habits less so.
This is making me think of training a puppy,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Positive reinforcement, but also a few strategically placed deterrents.
Precisely. And just like with a puppy, it takes time and patience.
Right. It's a process.
It is. You won't see results overnight.
Okay.
But if you're consistent and have a good plan,
Yeah.
you can make those changes stick.
This has been so enlightening. I'm really starting to understand how to, take control of my habits and create a life that really reflects what I want.
That's great. And one of the things Clear emphasizes is shifting our focus away from achieving specific outcomes
Okay.
and more toward continuous improvement.
Interesting.
He says we should see ourselves as works in progress,
Oh, I like that.
always striving to be better.
It takes the pressure off, I don't have to be perfect.
Exactly. Just show up and do your best.
All right. Celebrate the small wins.
Yep. And see those setbacks as opportunity
I can do that.
to grow.
Yeah. Now, Clear also says the path to success isn't always linear.
He does.
There are going to be ups and downs,
Totally.
plateaus and breakthroughs.
As long as you're committed, you're going in the right direction.
That's a good point. Sometimes it's easy to get discouraged when you don't see those results right away.
Right.
But it's consistency.
Consistency is key.
That's what really makes the difference.
It is. And it's not about being perfect.
Right.
Clear talks about embracing good enough
Oh, yeah.
instead of chasing perfection.
I think that's such an important point. Because sometimes perfectionism can really get in the way,
Oh, yeah.
You get so caught up in trying to do everything perfectly,
Right.
you end up doing nothing at all.
It's paralyzing.
It is. It's fear of making a mistake,
And Clear reminds us that mistakes are inevitable.
Yeah, for sure.
Part of learning.
So instead of beating myself up when I mess up,
Right.
it's an opportunity to learn from it and do better next time.
Exactly. He even suggests keeping a failure log.
Oh, interesting.
You track those setbacks and look for patterns.
That's a good idea. This is all about becoming more self-aware, more compassionate with myself.
Exactly. It's about developing a growth mindset,
Okay,
embracing those challenges, and trusting the process.
I can do that.
Oh.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from those tiny gains to systems, habit tracking, delayed gratification, and even identity.
It's been quite the deep dive.
It has. What other gems did you find in Atomic Habits? What really stood out to you? Yeah, as we're talking about all this stuff, I'm realizing it can be kind of overwhelming.
Oh,
There's like a
yeah.
million different ways to build better habits.
Right.
Where do I even begin?
That's a good point, and I think it's important to remember that you don't have to do everything at once.
Okay, that's reassuring.
ClearX actually warns against trying to change too much at the same time.
So it's not about like a complete life overhaul.
Right.
It's about picking one or two key habits and focusing on those.
Yeah, exactly. He says start with the habit that's going to make the biggest difference in your life.
Okay, prioritize those high impact habits.
Yeah.
But even then, it can be tough to make that change,
Oh, absolutely.
especially if it's something you've been struggling with for a while.
I hear ya, and that's where Clear's idea of habit shaking comes in.
Okay, tell me more.
It's about starting small, like ridiculously small,
Okay.
and gradually increasing the difficulty over time.
So like instead of going from 0 to 60, I try to go from 0 to like 1.
Exactly. Break that big scary goal down into smaller steps.
Makes it less intimidating.
It does, and he even suggests this thing called the 2-minute rule.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
The idea is any new habit you're trying to build should take less than 2 minutes to do.
Okay, I think I can handle that.
So even if your goal is to write a novel,
Yeah.
you might start by just sitting down at your computer for 2 minutes every day and just free writing,
So like just get the words flowing.
Exactly. Make it so easy that you can't say no.
I like it.
It's about building that consistency.
Right, that momentum.
Exactly.
Darn.
And then you slowly increase the time or complexity as you go.
I'm all about making things easier for myself, so this is great. It's like tricking my brain into thinking, oh, this isn't so bad. I can do 2 minutes.
Exactly. It's all about removing those mental barriers,
Yeah, those are the worst.
They are.
So once I've got that tiny habit established, I can ramp things up.
Yep. Slowly increase the duration, the intensity, work your way up to that big goal.
I love that. It's like you don't need these drastic overnight changes.
Right.
It's the small stuff that adds up.
The consistency.
Exactly. This whole conversation has been so eye-opening for me. I'm starting to see that building better habits is about more than just like checking things off a list.
Right.
It's about changing your mindset,
Totally.
your beliefs about yourself, and even how you think about change.
Clear talks about shifting our focus from achieving specific outcomes to embracing the journey of continuous improvement.
Ooh, that's good.
He says we should see ourselves as works in progress,
Like that.
always evolving, trying to be better.
It takes the pressure off,
It does.
I don't have to be perfect. I just have to keep trying.
Exactly. Just show up and do your best every day.
Celebrate those little wins along the way.
And see those setbacks as opportunities for growth.
I can get behind that. Now, Clear also says the path to success isn't always a straight line.
Right. He does.
There will be ups and downs.
There will be plateaus and breakthroughs.
Exactly.
Mm.
But as long as we keep going,
Yep.
we're heading in the right direction.
You got it.
Yeah.
And it's not about striving for perfection.
Okay.
Clear actually encourages us to embrace the idea of good enough.
Oh, interesting. What does he mean by that?
Well, he's saying don't get bogged down in trying to do everything perfectly,
Like,
because that can actually prevent us from making any progress at all.
that's like that perfectionism becomes a roadblock
Yeah, it's paralyzing.
because you're so afraid of messing up that you don't even try. Right.
Exactly. And Clear reminds us that mistakes are part of the process.
Right. We're all going to make them.
We are.
So instead of beating myself up about it,
Yeah,
I should look at it as a chance to learn.
right. Adjust your approach.
He even suggests keeping a failure log
He does.
where you track those setbacks and look for patterns.
Helps you see what's tripping you up.
This whole thing about building better habits is really about becoming more self-aware, right?
It is. And more compassionate with yourself.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point.
It is. It's about developing a growth mindset,
Okay.
embracing those challenges, and
Mm.
trusting the process.
Well, I think we've officially gone deep on atomic habits here.
We have.
We've explored the science behind it all, talked about systems, those tiny wins, delayed gratification, identity, expectation.
We've covered a lot of ground.
We have. And I think the biggest takeaway for me is that it's all about those small, consistent actions,
The atomic habits?
the atomic habits. They're what ultimately shape our lives.
They really do.
So go out there and build those atomic habits,
Yeah.
Start small, be consistent, embrace the journey, and you might just surprise yourself with what you can accomplish.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Hmm?